When you believe that your fellow human is not created by God in God's image, when you believe that he's just a amoeba that formed over
Yeah.
time,
No atheist could care about Michael Brown or George Floyd.
it drastically dictates how you treat people. It drastically dictates. So when you believe there is a creator that loves this person, that makes that they were made in God's image and they're loved and God wants to have a relationship with them, it drastically dictates how you view fellow humans. And unfortunately, America has done everything they can to run away from God. In fact, I had the past 2 videos that's done very well on YouTube. I had an unbelievable amount of comments say they liked the video until Joel brought up God. Unbelievable. Unbelievably amount. Like, it was a great story about Elon Musk and the Babylon Bee, and all Joel said was, he's like, it's really cool that God used these no-name writers to influence history like this. That's all he said. It was just a passive, and there was this very real, visceral reaction to hearing people talk about God in this society. There were people, literally, I have, probably 20 or 30 out of the 300 comments were like, why'd you have to bring up your imaginary friend? Why'd you have to you had me until the God thing? God isn't real. Why would you bring him up? And it was just like such a passing comment that I was very shocked that it was. I even forgot I had to rewatch the video. I'm like, what are they talking about? We didn't talk about God there. But it's what we're talking about. When people as a whole don't believe in what's true, we treat people different. And I think that's a very good point. And speaking truth is, when I asked you the question is, how do people come together? I mean, really the answer is, we need to be relying on the Lord to change us, and people need to see truth, and that's through the Bible.
Yeah, we have to have speak clearly.
Yeah.
Boldly, truthfully, compassionately too. I don't think truth doesn't mean to remove ourselves from being compassionate and understanding.
And on the flip side to that, some people believe, oh, you're a Christian. Well, does that mean you're supposed to be timid and humble? And I'm like, well, humble, yes, but I don't know anywhere the Bible tells me I need to be timid about truth.
Yeah.
Jesus
spoke.
Well,
a lot of people get
very clearly.
People get they think making a truth claim is prideful,
right?
And it's just not. But Keller was famous, I guess, in some circles.
Tim Keller.
Yeah, Tim Keller. All truth claims are exclusive truth claims.
Right.
So even if your truth is like there is no objective truth, will you accept that one?
Yeah. That's still a belief that you believe to be true.
That one that you're
Absolutely.
saying objectively there is no objective truth.
Correct.
Like, do you not? You're kind of like blind to the own irony and self-defeating nature of that argument, right? So It's like. People get agitated. Again, this is an American culture, maybe even a Western cultural thing, to make a truth claim is seen as prideful.
Yeah.
And to some degree, someone could have a prideful attitude when they say the truth, or they could have a really compassionate attitude. The truth of what they're saying doesn't change.
Yeah.
The truth rises or falls on the merits of its actual reality or not.
Right.
How it's perceived does in great part
and how it's communicated
come through, right?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I mean, people are influenced by the way that they feel as well. And so I know that, facts don't care about your feelings. No, but people do.
Yeah.
People care about their feelings.
Yeah.
And so you do need to speak truth, but you need to speak truth, I think with as much compassion as you can.
Speak truth in love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
speak it boldly.
Truth, right? So I can have a conversation with anybody, and if someone is to say, well, what about this? And it's like, you got to push people on the truth. You have to come back to okay, well, what's actually real? Not just what we feel and perceive, but what's actually at work. And then we need to adjust our feelings accordingly, depending on what's actually true or not true.
Because at the base level of it, there is an objective truth. So let's all agree there is an objective truth. Now let's debate what that truth is. But you can't say, oh, you're prideful because you're speaking in fact. And, there is a fact out there. We all got here somewhere. We all got here from somewhere. We were all, there's a reason why we're here, and there's a somewhere we're going. Okay, that is a fact. Now we can debate what that very real objective truth is. But the truth is there is one. There is an objective truth. So to say, when I say that God created us, and then I know people in the comments that were like, oh, Dylan, I was borrowed to follow you, and then you're about your Jesus stuff again. And I'm like, well, sorry, that's who I am. That's and I'm not afraid of that. I do think, I literally saw on Twitter today, Joel that was from the Babylon Bee, he posted something on Twitter, and literally someone said, aren't you supposed to be timid as a Christian? This isn't very Christianly of you, because he just made a very clear statement. And I do think there is room for believers to be confident and bold and speak what is true clearly and understand, hey, if someone takes offense to that, that's actually the perfect time to have a conversation. I think sometimes making bold claims, truth claims, people might disagree. Great. This is why this podcast exists, so we can have a conversation about it. And I know that as I grow and as this channel grows, I am going to have a lot of people sitting in this seat that disagree with me. That's a good thing. I want that, actually, because that's actually just, I think, how people grow. And anyway, I don't know where we got on the truth subject, but I think I just think that the more I read and the more comments I read and the more that happens in this world is, I think people are afraid to speak truth.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it comes back from the question you asked, which is like, here's this: if people in the community have a problem with the police, and people that are in policing have like this tenuousness with their community, how do you reconcile that? But yeah, the truth, like, we need more opportunities to speak clear truth in compassionate ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And clear is compassionate, right?
Yeah.
And we tend to think clear is threatening in a lot of ways in this current climate, and we need to be able to recover that. And I think that we can. I think it's easier to recover in person than it is on social media sometimes, because it's so much easier to default and dig in on social media than it is to sit face to face and then like be asked a direct question about something to support an assertion that somebody made or whatever else, and then to be able to admit when you're wrong. Like, I'm going to get things wrong. I'm going to get facts wrong. I'm going to get whatever. And just to be able to admit, like, yeah, I got that wrong, and does that change the ultimate argument that I was making or not? Like, got to be open to that to grow.
I mean, that's also the terrifying thing of content creation, man. I mean, like, when you have a podcast, you say a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of words that come out of my mouth.
I live forever.
And it's out there. And one of the best advice I got from someone earlier, they're like, hey, just make sure you understand that you will be wrong. People will call you out on that.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure that you are prepared for that to happen, so that when you are wrong about certain things, there might be things that I said in the conversation that I look back 5 years from now, I'm like, ooh, I was young and wrong there. But that's how you grow. And that humility, I do think, is what separates people to admit when they're wrong. But that's not always easy to do.
Oh, it's not.
It's not always easy to do.